All right, artists, we are getting started today on our last few steps of our Arpilleras, inspired by the women artists in Chile. So today we're going to be adding some details to our artwork using oil pastel. Oil pastels are kind of like an oily crayon. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to be adding some plants, flowers, trees, keeping in mind perspective and space. We already know things in the background look itty bitty. Things in the foreground look jumbo. I'm gonna go in, maybe add some different designs on each layer of my foreground and middle ground. I'm using lots of variety, line, shape, and color. You might also think about how your Arpillera is going to be telling a story. Think about what you would like your story to be about. I'm going to add some llamas to mine, and maybe even a person as a character of my story. Think about it if you want it to be a happy story or a sad story. Remember, the creator of the Arpillera gets to decide. I'm going in and making some trees. I'm making them small because they're in my background. Maybe you're going to add lava to your mountains and make them a volcano instead. Maybe you're going to add a river. It's up to you. All right, once I have all of my oil pastel designs that I want, it is time for me to add buildings. So I'm going to start in the foreground and I'm going to work back. Remember, things in the foreground are jumbo versus the things in the background itty bitty. So notice how my houses get smaller as they go back towards the background. Doing just a dot, not a lot. We don't want soupy, wet Arpilleras. We're just using just the right amount of glue to hold it down. Notice how my door actually opens up on that when I folded it in half so that it would actually open up. Giving it a nice back rub. Oh yeah, paper likes that. And I am just about done. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the hole punching section of my Arpillera. I want some part of my Arpillera to be sewn. So I'm adding these holes around the edges so it is easier for me to put my yarn around. I'll be coming around to your tables to give you holes. All right, we're ready for our yarn step. Good luck. The first thing I'm going to do when I get my yarn is I'm going to take the end of it and I am going to make a small knot at the end of my Arpillera. I noticed that the string is kind of frayed, so I'm going to get some tape and I'm going to turn it into kind of a makeshift needle. That way I am able to push it through the hole a little bit better. So when you are sewing, you are making sure you go through the top, pull it all the way through to the back, and you're going to loop it around back to the front again. So your needle is always going through the front, pulling to the back, through the front, pull to the back, through the front, pull to the back. It's really, really, really important that you pull all the way through so that you're not getting big loops of string around the sides of your Arpillera. So I'm just going to sew everything all the way around. And once I get to the end, I'm making sure to pull all the way through, you are going to be able to knot your original knot to the end of your string. The stitch we're using today is called a whip stitch. It's a really common stitch used to finish an edge, or if you get a hole in your pants or in your shirt sometime, you might use a whip stitch to sew it back together to kind of patch your clothing. All right, so can't wait to see how your Arpilleras turned out. Remember, you're going to knot the end of your string to the other. Make sure that name and class code is still visible on the back and you are ready to turn it in. Alrighty, good luck.